All right, so day 2's assignment is on the same document. Learn from home, week 1, days 1 through 5. So you're going to click and open the document again, 3 branches of government. For day 1, your child should have read and road mapped the 2 passages above, found the main idea, key details, and text structure of each. For day 2, have your child go back and reread the passages, just to remember what they were reading about. And they're going to use that information below to organize their thoughts to answer a writing prompt. So this is their graphic organizer. They have completed this in class many times, just on paper, not on the computer, but you can click and type into any of the boxes on here. So their prompt is here. Write an informational expository essay explaining the roles of the 3 branches of government and explain why one cannot become more powerful than another. Use information from both passages in your answer. So an informational expository essay means it's going to give just facts. Your child will need to explain the roles of all 3 branches of government and then explain the checks and balances system and explain why one cannot become more powerful than another. So they're going to use this graphic organizer to help organize their information. They would click here to include the topic, which is going to be 3 branches of government, checks and balances. Then they're going to come up with their introduction and hook. We've talked about how their hook needs to be interesting. It can be a question, it can be a bold statement, it can be an onomatopoeia sound word. Then they're going to make a claim. For this particular prompt, the claim is going to involve something with the 3 branches and how they can check each other's power. So a claim for this one might be something like, the 3 branches of government include the legislative, executive, and judicial branch. Each has their own job and cannot become more powerful than another. Then your child gets to decide how they're going to organize their writing. They may choose to do a paragraph for each branch of government. For example, they might choose to do the judicial branch. Then they might choose to do the executive, legislative, and then checks and balances. Another option is to do 1 paragraph about all 3 branches, executive, legislative, and judicial, and then do another paragraph about checks and balances. It's really up to them. After they decide on their paragraph topics, they're going to include their evidence. We have been working on paraphrasing and direct quotes. We are leaning more towards paraphrasing lately, where they take the passage and put it into their own words. So their evidence may sound something like, let's see. Passage 1 explains that the legislative branch is made up of the Senate and House of Representatives. The executive branch is made up of the President, Vice President, and Cabinet. And the judicial branch is made up of the Supreme Court and other federal courts. So paraphrasing takes the information and your child puts it into his or her own words, showing that they understand it. Then they would explain what the evidence means. So this graphic organizer is just to help them organize their writing, what their paragraphs are going to be about. You do not have to have 4 body paragraphs. Like I said, you could have 2 or you can have 4. It's really about how your child decides to organize the writing. And then they're going to work on their conclusion. For the conclusion, I want your child to remember to use a bold statement, make it interesting, restate your claim. We have worked hard on conclusions and making them interesting and really wrapping up the writing. So that would be day 2's work.